Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Wonder Woman 1984. And man, people are really taking a dump on this movie. We're going to talk about that, about, even outlets like the Mary Sue are having major problems with this movie and some of the plot choices. We're going to talk about how the media is like, hey, yay, Wonder Woman did so good. It made $16 million.
That's great. That's the best opening since pandemic.
Since the pandemic started, that's so good. Good for you. And that they're going to do a Wonder Woman 3. That Wonder Woman 3 has been greenlit because we talked the other day about DC and how they're going to crap out like 4 to 6 movies every year from now until the end of time, or until AT&T decides it's not worth it and they just pull the plug, which could happen next month, honestly. They got these big plans for 2 years down the road, but AT&T changes their minds every other month. So we'll talk about Wonder Woman and that scene with Steve Trevor. How he got, people were calling it she-tooed, he-tooed. He got he-tooed, she-tooed, yeah. So, which we didn't mention in our review.
I didn't even think about it. Someone else pointed that out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a valid point.
I honestly wasn't thinking about it because you see Chris Pine.
I did wonder that. I'm like, but if he did that, it's not his body. I did think that, but I didn't like go to like, it's a valid point. It is.
It is. We'll talk about that.
I wouldn't be too happy if someone used my body for that.
I wouldn't be either.
No.
I really wouldn't be, so don't do that. Don't let anybody possess you, and then
I'll try not to. And it just so happened that he went into somebody's body that he had no pictures of. They said, well, he has no pictures of himself. It's all pictures of himself. He didn't seem to have family or whatever. How convenient that they made sure he went into a body that wasn't somebody that was married or something else.
What if he was gay?
That's a good point, too.
What if he was a gay dude and you just made him do that with a woman? I'm just putting it out there.
That's a good point.
You don't know, man. What if he was an ace and he wasn't into that at all? The thought of the act disgusted him, and Wonder Woman lassoed him.
That's
closely.
A good point. I mean, I love Wonder Woman, but that's a good point.
Wonder Woman, I can't believe you did that. Okay, so before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 164,000 subs, hoping for 200,000 soon. Yay! Now, you'll have to go back and check our initial Wonder Woman reaction review. It was not good. The movie, frankly, is not good.
It was just like,
It was meh.
It was all over the dang place. That was my biggest concern. It was slow, and it was everywhere. It was. Am I wrong? It was like, point A, point B. Get there. It's like point A, all over the place, like a squiggly line everywhere, and then eventually getting to point B.
Okay, I didn't know we were talking about Steve Trevor's.
No, I wasn't. It's not his. It's other guy.
It's the other random guy that doesn't even get a name. He doesn't even get a name.
You shouldn't know if he had any STDs.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess she's Wonder Woman. I mean, if she can.
It was the 80s, things were going on in the 80s.
But I guess if she can stop bullets and stuff.
She's pervious.
If she can make her jet invisible just by touching it, she probably can.
I did like they put the invisible jet in there.
That was even though the invisible jet had seemingly infinite fuel.
I know, I brought that up. I was like, how come this thing never runs out of gas?
Yeah, right.
And how come it was just sitting there not used, full of gas?
Because movie. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this movie has a lot of the logic of other 80s superhero movies like Superman 3 and 4 and Supergirl.
All the fuel was in the jet.
All the fuel's in the jet. Anyway, it did make $16 million in North America opening weekend on Christmas.
Well, now the theaters are allowed to be open, though, in a lot of places.
Some.
I mean,
ours aren't.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, a couple months ago, there were more shut down than there are now.
Yeah,
so, you know, you have to compare that to that, too. When other theaters open or they're not open,
So anyway, I'm going to be honest, I would have been very, very disappointed had I paid money and ventured out to a theater during a pandemic to watch this movie. But a lot of people not happy about it, even though we're getting a third Wonder Woman movie. Supposed to take place modern day.
That makes sense.
With Cheetah again.
Well, right, because she didn't renounce her wish.
She didn't. So that's how Cheetah gets her powers. She wished for it. That's
how I get my powers.
He wished for it. So anyway, other media outlets slamming Wonder Woman 84 include the Washington Post. Here are 7 movies that do the same things Wonder Woman 84 does, but does them better. This is Michael Cabinet, who I know covers comics and stuff. He's usually pretty on the ball, or has been in the past.
I don't know.
But a better superhero sequel, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. A better body swap movie, Heaven Can Wait. Heaven Can Wait is better than Wonder Woman 1984. A better pilot resurrection, A Guy Named Joe. Better use of mass communications, Network. This movie made me mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Yeah. A better friendship gone wrong movie, Single White Female. Single white pussycat. Single white pussy. That sounds bad.
No, it does. Yeah, don't say that.
A better obnoxious 80s villain, Wall Street.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
A funnier suburban 80s mall fight, Night of the Comet.
I'm not familiar with that one at all.
God, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. And Mary Sue brought this up. People brought this up in the comments in our review that we did not address the Steve Trevor situation. So spoiler, Steve Trevor is back, but not really. It's his consciousness transferred from the afterlife, I guess, into some rando guy's body, which Wonder Woman loves up almost immediately without questions.
Right.
I would have questions.
Right. Plus, I'd be like, all right, was this guy married? Is his wife going to come home? Is there going to be problems? You know?
Wonder Woman don't give a shit.
No.
She's horny. She's been waiting 60 years to get laid. She's horny. So she just did this dude. And yeah, so apparently the guy who Steve Trevor took his body, his consciousness, I don't know if it went on vacation or where it went. Maybe he went to
Did he wake up and be like, what happened for the past so many days?
And what's this weird rash?
Yeah.
What the hell?
How did it get broken?
What? Lasso of truth.
It's like, she's pretty powerful.
She is. She could snap a man in half, like a Slim Jim. Snap into it. So I do have questions, because not only did she do this dude without his explicit consent, which isn't very Wonder Woman-like, by the way. But there are a lot of things we don't know about this guy. What if he was a virgin and he was going to join the priesthood?
Or he was waiting until he got married.
He's waiting until he got married, and Wonder Woman, well, did the deed, and that's over. You know?
But in his mind, it's not. They'll be like, well, he doesn't know it. Because he wasn't conscious.
That's right. It doesn't count if you're not conscious.
I guess that's even worse.
That's even worse. She's like,
come on, Wonder Woman, you're better than this.
Yeah, it's pretty icky when you really think about it. It's pretty gross. And I'm really surprised that got...
So one time I will agree with Mary Sue that it was a bit like,
Yeah, so they're like all these problems they had with Wonder Woman 84, and we get down to this. Him and Diana almost immediately go off for some time alone, which means Diana is having sex with, again, some random dude's body who did not consent to that situation. I suppose the guy's consciousness is just gone, checked out for that. Maybe he's watching.
Or he's going to be in therapy with he's got post-traumatic stress, where he's going to flashbacks to this woman. And, you laugh, but I'm serious. Like, what if his consciousness was still there?
She's so strong, she broke my pee-pee, Steve.
She broke my pee-pee, Steve.
I can't do anything again because Wonder Woman.
She broke my pee-pee, Steve. Okay.
Well, that was
I like pizza, Steve.
I think that's why Superman had to become human and to do it with Lois, because he would like hurt her in a very grotesque manner. Kind of like Scary Movie, but
you think he can throw things far? Just wait.
Yeah. So anyway. So is he still there watching through Steve's eyes, wondering what the hell is happening? You have no idea, because this is never addressed. Oh my God, this has to be a comic tie-in.
No, it doesn't. It's his side of the story.
Oh my God, his side of the story. Well, yeah, I mean, look, if this were a woman, this were like a Superman movie and Lois Lane died and she was in some other woman's body. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's okay because it's just a guy. It's just a dude. Whatever.
Mary Sue didn't think it was okay. So that,
Yeah. They have no idea because it's never addressed, nor is a moment's concern spared for the disruption of not Steve's life. I guess we should be glad, like he and Diana apparently has no friends to worry about what happens to him or why he just goes off the grid. A bunch of people on Twitter. Why'd Steve Trevor have to come back in somebody else's body? Like, why was that a thing? Why does that mean the owner of said body couldn't consent to sex with Diana? The issue of consent made me uncomfortable while watching. It's been a topic of discussion online since the movie's release. When a movie's bad, I tend to just let it be bad. It's hard to make something that's good. Most things are not. When a movie is socially, morally repugnant in some way, oh my God.
It is a valid point.
I feel like if I don't say something, I become complicit to its message.
Okay, that's a little bit ridiculous, but...
Wonder Woman 84 is repulsive garbage.
I don't say something, I'm complicit. Well, first of all, the dude's not real.
I'm sorry. He was used as a fuck toy for Wonder Woman. That needs to be on the back of the Blu-ray.
No, they need to make an action figure. Just call it Fuck Toy.
He doesn't have a name. That's his name.
Fuck Toy.
Steve Trevor as Fuck Toy. And he would have his doofy ass scarf.
You could do that Double Trouble or Manny Faces where his face can flip.
You could flip Steve Trevor's face for Fuck Toy's face. But you gotta keep and then when you flip it to Steve Trevor, the fanny pack swings around too.
Oh my God.
And then when he's Fuck Toy, it's the scarf.
Well, wait, someone mentions this. They said, though, given his wardrobe, I wonder if he's coded as gay.
Oh my God, I just said that. Wonder Woman raped a gay guy.
Because remember, his friends kept making fun of him for his scarf and his belt and his flamboyant style.
Even in the 80s, most straight dudes wouldn't have worn the scarf and the whole thing. I'm just saying. I was there. Straight dudes, fanny pack.
Well, the implication wasn't that he was gay. The implication was that he was interested in her and she's interested in him because she's going to move on now because Steve said to.
Well, it didn't come off that way.
Well, she already seen him naked, so she already knows what she's getting.
Handsome Man, that's his name. It's not Fuck Toy, it's Handsome Man.
Okay.
Hey there, Handsome Man. Thank you, Mary Sue. It's not like we haven't been saying this for a while. A terrible trope is we often see in pop culture it's somehow not harmful for men to be made to have sex with women against their will.
Which we've been saying.
Because men are victims too.
Yeah, but according to Mary Sue, though, other times and blogs like it, that it's always like with the Amber Heard situation, it's always one side, not the other.
Right. So they address the fact that he had to be in somebody else's body because that's just you can't make things appear,
obviously,
except for the nuclear missiles that appeared out of thin air.
That's true. If everything else could just be miraculously, suddenly appear. Why couldn't his body be back? That is a valid point.
He could have just sprung out of the ground like a Cabbage Patch Kid. Did you fuck?
Right. Oh, no. No.
Don't do that.
Don't.
Oh, God. That's a mental image I don't want. Language warning. I have to strike that reversal.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. Tell Mom you're sorry.
I'm sorry, Mom. My mom would say worse. But
she would. My mom wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm glad that this movie passes the Bechdel test and all that. But my main concern is why did Diana sleep with Steve Trevor in another man's body?
Because this points out the Bechdel test is absolute garbage, which I have been saying repeatedly. So what have we learned? The Bechdel test is bullshit, which we've already known, and it's clearly biased towards women that are not attracted to men. We've been pointed out, too, about the fact that men get sexually assaulted all the time, and you don't hear enough about it, and it's absolute bullshit. There isn't as much out there for men to have, recourse in such situations. Actually, they're like basically looked down upon if they actually report it, because, when you got someone, you're the man, which we've also been saying. So there's two things validated that we have been saying repeatedly before this.
Yeah, so... it's very interesting to see people turn on this.
They basically said it didn't have to go that way. He could have just been appeared. He didn't have to be in someone's body and all that. That's a good point.
But then they would have been like, well, Wonder Woman's... Yeah, he could have just appeared, or it could have been like, only she can see him, and then it's like, oh, Wonder Woman's, crazy.
Well, only she could see him? Does that mean she's playing with herself?
I don't know. This movie had a lot of problems. And I do agree with Walter here that it was...
I think he's taking it a little far.
Repulsive garbage.
Walter's taking it a bit far, but yes.
Repulsive garbage. Is that a short round?
It looks like, I don't know, saying you're complicit is ridiculous. It's it's not a real person. There's nothing to be complicit in. But if it really happened, you would be. But because it's imaginary and not real, you are not.
So some people, I mean, they like the movie. We had people pop in the comments on the video and say, hey, it was, it was just dumb fun. It was like an 80s throwback. And it was in some ways.
I wouldn't say fun.
I wouldn't say
You
fun.
could say dumb and then stop there. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing ever. It's kind of like Captain Marvel. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. And it didn't deserve all the accolades it got. And it was definitely a step down from the last film. No question.
What's behind the overwhelming negative response?
Because it wasn't good. It was all over the damn place.
Yeah, so people are going to be debating this for months. It is getting a third Wonder Woman. Maybe that one will be good, and we can just kind of step over. Because the first Wonder Woman was a damn good movie. It
was clearly getting the third one before this. They announced it like right after. They don't just make that decision like, well, if she did get pregnant, it wouldn't have been Steve's baby. It's like Starman. You're pregnant now, but it's partly your dead husband and partly mine.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the third movie. Fuck Toy is gonna meet his son that he didn't know he conceived.
Except Wonder Woman doesn't have kids, so that's not gonna happen.
Well, she could probably, maybe. I don't know.
It's impenetrable.
She can make jets.
Every part of her is impenetrable. But while while her powers were weakened, was she impenetrable? She was penetrable then.
Well, they did it in the first movie, too.
Yeah, 60-some years before this. I mean...
I don't know.
I don't mean impenetrable. No, I don't
What are you talking about?
I don't mean penetrable with a penis. I mean, you're talking about having kids. Her eggs are impenetrable.
Oh, okay.
They're like shielded with power. Because it's from an all-female island. We don't need no man shield around her eggs. I'm just saying. Her powers were weakened. So were her eggs penetrable then?
By the man's biology.
By
yes.
all the lines that were wiggling all over the place on this, from point A to point
B. Yeah. So maybe, yeah. And you know what? Her kid's gonna be a goth that hates Wonder Woman.
It'd be worse if her kid turns out to be a cat. Then you have to quit, make a lot more questions.
Oh my God. I think we need to stop this video.
Yeah.
This is just getting stupid. Just like this movie. It's a stupid, stupid movie that
you hate
the more I think about it.
It is just,
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, God, that movie was bad.
I think I just desperately wanted it to be good. Because I loved Wonder Woman since I was very little. And I was just like, oh, I love Wonder Woman so much. And then it was that. I didn't even wear my underoos for it. And I'm glad I didn't dishonor the underoos by seeing that movie. I should have worn the underoos while I made this video, though.
Yeah, it just was very disappointing. Maybe they'll get it right the third time. I doubt it. But
third time's a charm.
I don't know. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.